Welcome to the I Hate Critics Movie Review Podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. Hi, Jeff.
By the power of Grayskull. I don't really have much power.
I am powerless.
I have the power ballad. That's what we should call it this week.
That's the pun. Oh my God, Bob would kill for that pun as a title. Yes. He would kill for it.
Yes.
Back in the day, he used to do puns all the time for the title.
I remember the first time I was on the show, probably like 15 years ago, and it was a punny name, and I can't remember what it was, but I think I laughed for like a half an hour.
He was always good for a pun. I don't have that kind of emotional energy anymore.
Well, luckily for everybody, I'm here.
The Trump administration has robbed me of my mirth.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm going all in on Pride this year, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So okay, Randy Wicker, he still is. I mean, he was one of the very first of the hardcore gay activists in the 50s and 60s, and he did. Frank Kameny was somebody who he coined the phrase "gay is good" after "black is beautiful."
Uh-huh.
And Randy told me that he did the design for it. There's a button, there's a sticker so I collaborated with Randy and made I made the sticker of his design and sent him a bunch. And he's like, okay, now you got to do this and this and this. I'm like, okay, so I have more to do. But I wore that button today at my part-time job. And because Tuesdays is my short day at my day job, which is founded on Christian principles, I wore my cruising t-shirt for the 3 hours I was there.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, bring it on. I actually watched Cruising last night because I'm trying to see something, but yeah, it's a perennial favorite.
Nice.
You guys watched The Celluloid Closet on the 1994 or 1996 podcast. God,
yes, the 96 now.
Not too long ago, and that's where I first heard of the movie Cruising, was in that book, The Celluloid Closet.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And not knowing all of the controversy and everything, I saw it after I learned about the controversy and was like, holy shit, okay, well, and I love it. I mean, we've talked about it before. It's been a classic, but still love that movie. So. And
divisive, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Where can people get that?
JeffLassiter.com has links to all my socials, and I'm going to add that to the Etsy. It is actually a collaboration between my friend Erica and I. She has a store called Atomic Cotton, and they do amazing t-shirts. We've been collaborating or thinking of collaborating for a while. Some of my designs, she said they're a little too intricate, but we're going to work on something. And she used a couple of my images, my cruising poster that is on the t-shirt that I'm currently wearing, that is also on the Cruising IMDb page, by the way. That is one of the stickers that she printed, and another of my cruising designs. And so we have collaborated on a sticker pack. She sent me some, and we are going to I'm going to put them on my Etsy shop for Pride Month. So if anybody wants one. Also, you can hit me up at Planet FunkCon /QC FrightCon later in June. It's the last weekend in June at the River Center in Davenport, Iowa. Announced a new guest, which I'm pretty excited about. Caroline Williams, who played Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, is going to be there.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So
horror conventions are fun. They can get they just find the most unique people.
You know, and I've actually made quite a few friends through them, and not just the vendors, but some of the celebrities. You know, like my friend Lauren, who was in Friday the 13th Part 2. She's become a friend over the years just by doing doing conventions, and I actually worked with one of her co-stars from a soap opera at Best Buy, so that had something to do with it. But just like the horror community, I talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about Chopping Mall with Kelly Maroney. They're just such good people. I haven't met Barbara Crampton yet, but I've heard such good things about her. Dee Wallace is great. I was just thinking about her. Just so many good people in the horror community that I love doing horror shows because that means that I get to meet new people who are in my favorite movies and are actually really good people. So if you get the
And if they're
chance to
not, you
come
get
to
a
that.
really great story that you can tell people.
Oh yeah, Christy Swanson. Hi. Yeah, there's a few people, and they're mostly kind of MAGA people
Mhm.
that
Weird
are
how that
always a
works.
little right. They're always a little. There is actually somebody that I'm going to be doing a show with pretty soon, who was horrible to my friend's autistic son, and it just drives it makes me mad that I have to work with this person because of that. So, um, but apparently this person is also mega, so it tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about those people. Who knows? Who knows what it is?
I mean, it's like people, like I have people in my life, and my friends, who are physically disabled, mentally disabled, all sorts, and the disdain that MAGA has for those people, it just pisses me off so much because I'm like, regardless, at the end of the day, everybody is a human being, even MAGA. You know, if we can't see the the general humanity in each other, then yeah, we end
But,
up with like those people.
well, excuse me, Jeff, but apparently God hasn't smiled upon those people the way it has on the MAGA people.
Well, let me just tell you, if that's God, she owes me a big apology.
Don't you know that God is a complete dick who likes to inflict people with things and only highlight people who are only out for themselves?
Mhm.
That's how God works, apparently.
So, my niece has told me that she's an atheist. She's 17. She knows that I am. My sister thought it was me, my influence, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with it. Um, and so I was asking her some questions. I said, "Well, what do you think happens when we die?" She's like, "Well, I think we just die." And she goes, "What do you think when we die?" I said, "Well, I think that our memory is carried in the people that we leave behind, and what we leave behind, not necessarily in some heaven or hell, but there are certain people in the world that make me wish and hope that hell is real." And I'm related to a couple of them. Not you, not your wonderful sister. Hi, Amy. MJ, on the other hand, I mean, what a fuck. No, just kidding.
MJ went to hell a long time ago. It's been
Well,
they're trans. So I mean,
I mean, and I'm
imagine
a
being like
homo.
that. How are people like that? How do you get by on a daily basis thinking that way? It's really like that's just a weird thing to think.
I have 100% in the past said unkind things to people to make myself somehow feel better about myself. I don't feel that way anymore. That's not something I do. And if I think an unkind thought, I try to like correct it in my head so that it doesn't come out of my mouth. But I really truly think that people are okay. Say like because it's Pride Month, we'll go with LGBT people, okay, and all the other letters that go with it. I truly believe that people hate LGBT or LGBTQ people. Is how I like to say it. The LGBTQ people, because they're so afraid of being their authentic selves that when they see people who are, it makes them feel worse about themselves than they already do.
Yeah.
Um, And I think that is part of, where MAGA hates anybody who's not straight white Christian cishet, that because they see people being their authentic selves, or being themselves through some sort of disability or through some sort of otherness, and it pisses them off because they don't know how to do that. They lack that empathy gene, or that part of themselves where they're just able to live and let live. And a lot of the time that I see these people who are Christian and profess to know what their God or Jesus says, that's when I have to look at them and just be like, well, you know, if God is infallible, he made gay people, he made trans people, and made them who they are so they can discover who they are. It's like, but if not, then that means you think your God is fallible, and then that puts the lie to everything you said. So just be a nice person. Stop being a dick. Sorry, I'm looking at
if
my
only,
list of
if
thoughts.
only, right?
Oh,
If
yes, if
only
only.
we're that simple.
Oh, how many people have turned
Well,
this show off already?
I
Do we
don't
track
care.
that?
We'll
I
talk
do it
about
for like
this
the
stupid
15.
He-Man movie in a minute. People. Uh, I guess that's a good transition. Speaking of simple, He-Man, the Masters of the Universe.
Wow.
Nicholas Galitzine, directed by Travis Knight, and telling the story of Adam of Eternia, who leaves Eternia very early on after Skeletor, played by Jared Leto, attacks and seemingly destroys everything in his path, trying to get to the Sword of Power, but Adam is sent away with the sword, and then he loses it, and it's missing for about 15 years. Meanwhile, he grows up to be big, strong Nicholas Galitzine, who is also a sweet, sensitive kid who works in the HR department of some company and goes searching for his sword online every day and hopes to find it. And when he does, he'll head back to Eternia and, hope to become the best version of himself, which he has come to call He-Man. In this universe, the nicknames that we all knew from the cartoon were mate up by Adam as a kid, trying to cope with being away from Eternia. He invented names like Ram Man and Lockjaw and all that stuff. And yeah,
Let's
that's
not forget
basically
Fisto in honor of Gay Pride Month.
Wait a minute. Hey, the gays don't own fisting, okay?
Okay, sure. Do you have a depth marker tattoo? I think neither do I, just for the record.
I will not hear of this. Flaming of fisting.
So okay, you've seen guys that have like the bands around their arms as tattoos. So apparently there's some deeper meaning to this that I'm not aware of, but I just always saw it in the gay community and was told they were depth markers for fisting. So
I'm not aware of either definition, but I don't recall having seen anything like that. So
you watched Cruising for the show. Come on.
what is that? Was that tattoo in that movie?
Probably. No, but there was fisting going on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are many more ways for people to fit. Anyway, moving on.
Care to elaborate?
He-Man. He-Man. Look, what a man and woman do in the bedroom is their own business.
I don't do anything with a
He-Man.
Or a man, for that matter. It's all outside.
So, He-Man. This movie is not bad. It's just not, in my mind, very good. I found the humor of this film tiresome. The constant joke throughout the movie is Adam, Nicholas Galitzine, just he's very awkward, and he just constantly he'll he'll fumble into something and continuously apologize for it and make it worse by fumbling more, and then the scene ends. And it's this, it is this style of humor that I found, like, you find it a lot in, like, oh gosh, what are like TikTok TV shows or Instagram shows, those 1 minute reels that act as shows. Like, you'll find that kind of humor there a lot. Like, boy, that happened. Oh no. And it just, it's so, it's a humor that's based on just how long can people be uncomfortable for, how long can you stand in uncomfortable silence, I guess is that kind of humor. And that can play, but not as the only kind of humor in the movie, and it really felt like that it was the only joke, was that he says or does something awkward, and everybody just stands there looking at him, hoping that people are laughing.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's it.
I I have no real ties to He-Man except for recently at my friend's shop, he plays the He-Man cartoons on in the background, and I've seen some of them there. I never watched it when I was a kid. I was a little older for it. I was still into Star Wars, but I was a little old for He-Man in the afternoons. So I didn't really get it. The toys didn't appeal to me because I was still into Star Wars. But I get the nostalgia for it. I actually really enjoyed myself at the movie. I thought I liked the humor. I thought it was funny. I thought it was, yeah, a little self-reverential, um, I as opposed to the one we're gonna talk about later that was played for straight, I guess. Um, I'm gonna stand by my joke that I made to my friend who I went with, who is my introduction to He-Man, really, that this is the perfect Pride Month movie. Okay, first of all, you have Nicholas Galitzine, who is, I'm sorry, I'm not even into white guys, and he's fucking hot. He was hot in The Sheep Detectives, and now he's in a loincloth and, like, he's hot. I'm sorry, he's just hot. Um, and I think because he plays approachable very well, I think that makes him hotter. So I think that's possibly where it comes in. Um, you have all the guys who are on his side are kinda hot too, and they, um they have a few gay references in it, like Fisto and, um, a couple other little jokes, Ram Man, obviously. At one point, they go off into the woods with "Outside" by George Michael, which is a song about having sex outside and in public restrooms like he was arrested for. That is not a coincidence. I can't see that as a coincidence.
Mhm.
That's how I think that He-Man is gay. So, happy Pride, everybody. Um,
Wow, what's amazing though is that you weren't into He-Man as a kid, and yet all those years people called you Ram Man, and you just accepted it.
no, no, don't call me Fisto. Whoa. Just
Hey,
kidding. Hey.
hey. I had all the toys. I'm not precious about He-Man. I couldn't care less. I don't even remember if I saw the He-Man 1987 in the theater. Um, but I did have all the toys, and I did play with all the toys. And it's funny, as a kid, you don't ask yourself like the very obvious question of, like, why is this guy's battle outfit just a loincloth and like a scabbard? Because
What
it's like he's completely exposed to any kind of attack. But he's
you
also, I
you've
guess he's a
seen the
god,
joke
so I
though,
guess it
right?
doesn't matter. But like it's bizarre to me. Like, as a kid, you don't question that for a second.
Yeah. Well, I think he's based on, like, Frank Frazetta fantasy,
Mhm.
Conan the Barbarian,
Oh, yeah.
those
No, they
kinds
wanted to
of
make They literally wanted to make Conan toys, and they couldn't get the license to make Conan toys, so they invented a He-Man. That's the literal backstory of this.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
The cartoon was an invention of the toy company to sell more toys.
Yeah, it was basically a commercial. And
Yeah,
G.I. Joe, same thing.
you can't be precious about He-Man. He-Man is a purely it's a purely mercenary effort. It was from the very start. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's a basis in art there because the guy who made it was a very weird guy who was an artist first and created this weird thing that happened to be co-opted into a kid's toy. But He-Man was just a kid's toy. They needed something to market it with, so they made a cartoon that became a commercial on Saturday mornings.
It worked well because they sold a hell of a lot of toys.
And yeah, they literally had to change the law because of He-Man.
Yep.
Because there was so little like effort being put into Saturday morning entertainment for kids that they are like, okay, you can only do this now for 2 hours a day. Then you have to actually the thing you put on TV has to have some kind of value to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual thing our government stepped in to do back in the day, which is very funny now.
Back when we had a functioning government who cared about shit like that.
Yeah, they don't care about that now. Good God, they don't care about that now. They literally put the CEO of a wrestling company in charge of our education. So they really truly do not give a fuck.
Yeah.
We should handle that Department of Education. How about that lady who ran a wrestling company? A great idea, guys. She'll know what to do with our kids.
Everything that is happening now is to dismantle the government until we don't know what's going on anymore. That's why he put Linda McMahon in charge. It's why he does everything. It's why we're having a UFC match on the fucking lawn of the White House.
Although I heard you gay guys are going to ruin that. I'm pretty happy with you about that.
Are we?
Apparently, a bunch of gay men have bought tickets and are going to show up dressed fully for Pride.
Nice.
It's a beautiful thing, and Trump will be. I mean, he'll be asleep, so it won't matter to him.
Well, this is true. Yeah,
he's gonna sleep through the whole thing. So, man, yeah, it always comes back to that somehow.
Always, we're everywhere.
Somebody had a theory online that professional wrestling is the reason that is actually what ruined America, and I can't argue with it because like Trump appeared on WrestleMania a few years ago to get stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it just made him more likable to a lot of people, and yeah, that kind of raised his bar being on WrestleMania, and he's not gone away ever since.
Our grandmother used to say what a shitty person he was back in the 80s and early 90s. So he's always been this way. And he was on wrestling then. So.
Oh. Well, anyway. He-Man, you enjoyed it. I couldn't get into it or care much about it. I don't hate it. Just didn't do anything for me. I want Travis Knight to do another Bumblebee movie or something.
Did you hear about how, there's not much to spoil. I think everybody who's seen this movie is going to see it because it didn't do gangbusters the way they thought it was going to be. But did you hear about the actress who plays Teela in the mid-credits scene?
No.
On Friday morning, I open up Threads, and there she is in her full costume, talking about what a pleasure it was to be. I said, the secret is out. The movie had not even come out. This was Thursday morning. The movie had not even come out in the United States, and she's like, the secret is out. I play Teela in the end credits scene in Masters of the Universe. And so, yeah. She totally there's no way they keep her if they make a sequel. So
I'm confused. Did we not know she was playing Teela's in the movie from the entire beginning to end?
Not Teela,
Oh,
She-Ra.
why would she
Sorry,
be a
She-Ra.
She-Ra?
Yeah,
Which one was she?
she was the. Did you watch the? Did you stay through the credits?
No, no. I got up and left as soon as the credits started.
Okay, so mid-credit scene, you get the little Orko or whatever his name is. So you get that. You
Yeah.
get him right after the main credits start, and then into the mid-credits scene is She-Ra, and she's shot from behind. But this actor, sorry, I screwed him up because I don't know. She was playing She-Ra, and it was supposed to be a big surprise and a tease for a sequel, and she just gave it up on Thursday morning because it had already come out in the UK. So, surprise! I played She-Ra in the mid-credits sequence. I guess the word is out. No, the movie isn't even out, much less the word. So,
And you
so
don't know who this actress is?
I could look it up, but I don't care. She won't be in the sequel, so it won't matter if there is a sequel. Yeah, I mean, she literally spoiled that credit sequence for pretty much everybody because it got picked up by different websites and it wasn't just a social media faux pas. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
I just watched it while you were talking, and I don't see why it's such a big deal.
because because it was supposed to be a big reveal for the sequel because
Oh,
she wasn't in the She-Ra is a separate cartoon from Masters
well, yeah, I
movies,
remember that because I used to have She-Ra toys as well.
but she wasn't in the original movie and she wasn't in the main part of this movie, and that was that was like introducing somebody from the Marvel universe at a mid-credit scene. So it's not something you spoil.
I don't really think you can spoil anything with He-Man.
Well, tell that to a lot of people on the internet because they're really pissed about it. So,
Oh man, the internet's fun.
sure.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Again, we're talking about failures. Like this movie made over 30 some $1 million, and it's a failure. Like,
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, people. I know the budget was like 145 million, but it also like made big money overseas as well. So I don't like people are just so
It's
quick to want something to fail.
it's an Amazon Studios that literally Jeff Bezos has so much money he can explode on a launch pad and he doesn't care. You know, um, so he's gonna get people that are gonna subscribe to Prime to watch it. They're gonna pay to watch it. It's not gonna be a bust at all. It is not. And everybody, I mean, it was a very crowded theater when it went on Saturday, and everybody had a good time. Everybody was talking about how they can't wait for the sequel. I'm sure there will be a sequel because it's an Amazon movie. So I just I'm kind of tired of the oh my god, it didn't make $40 billion over opening weekend. It's got to be a you know a bust. Look at Obsession. It's fucking like so big that people think that people should get paid on the back end who never signed a contract for that. It's like hundreds of millions of dollars by the time it's done, and people are like, "Oh my god, we didn't think this was gonna do anything." So I don't know.
Well, just when we thought original movies were back because of Obsession and Backrooms, Scary Movie 6 opened at number 1 at the box office with over $50 million. I did not go see this movie. I reviewed the trailer and I said, I'm good. Um,
I watched this movie. I
you
did not pay to
subjected
watch
yourself
this
to
movie.
this. So,
I did not pay to watch this movie. I'm happy I did not pay to watch this movie because this movie was basically Scream 5 with less interesting characters and it was less fun. Less funny jokes even. And that's the movie we're doing, guys. It's like it was just like lifted scene from scene and they made a couple like oh this is going to offend everybody. I was not even remotely offended by anything in here. It wasn't particularly interesting. It wasn't particularly funny, first of all. Um, a couple little jokes I laughed at, but I don't remember them. Um,
mhm.
And Anna Faris, I love Anna Faris. I love Regina Hall, but they're so much better than what they were given here. Um, and how do I? Her daughters are named Sarah instead of Tara, and Tuesday instead of Wednesday, and
Ugh.
it's just terrible. And she starts off the movie looking like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween 2018. 2018, that's
Yeah,
8
that's
years ago.
the joke. The joke was like the joke in the trailer where she's reunited with Regina Hall, and she just says, Regina says, "Can I hug you?" And she goes, "I'm a Republican, so I don't know."
I'm
And I'm
supposed
like,
to be racist now.
yeah,
And then,
is that funny? Like,
no,
even if the joke is
no.
on, I don't. Who is even the joke on? I'm not even sure. Like,
Well, and then
what is
Regina Hall goes,
what?
"It's okay. I think all white people are racist." And that's supposed to be the kicker to. And I'm like, okay, it's not funny. It's just not. I mean, it's like nothing. The other one is oh my god, she's been stabbed. My pronouns are they them. Oh my god, they've been stabbed. That's better. And she's like, I don't like your attitude. And so the lady stabs her. I'm like, this is dumb. It's just stupid. And nobody was funny. The best part of the movie is they leave they leave their kid, because all of them have children, right? And they
Mhm.
leave them in the Stumacher house, and they light the house on fire to burn the kids alive. And the best line in the movie is Anna Faris going, you know what? Fuck them kids. I mean, this is our franchise. I'm like, okay, well, please don't ever make another one because it sucked so badly. But yeah, it was terrible.
Good God! Like, scary movie goes full boomer. Apparently, great, cool.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wanted, really.
I mean,
You,
it's
you
just
know what, Jeff? I bet the scary movie franchise drank from the hose.
I mean, they cover like a bunch of the bases for like Get Out and Ma and Halloween, but it's mostly a Scream 5
Well, those are
remake.
timely references. We're almost within a decade of each of those.
And I'm just like, you know, it would probably be funnier if they did something like a Midsommar, something that's not as well known, if they kind of did a riff on that or something. I don't know. It was just bad. Everything about it was bad. So,
Yeah, no,
uh,
this would be, if they would really want to offend people, they should try and make something related to anything Ari Aster. Give it a shot.
mhm.
See how
Yeah.
that goes for you.
Oh, but it isn't
Tiresome,
offensive in the least.
tiresome bullshit.
No.
Just why don't you just shout, "We're old"? How about that? Just make your movie and just go, "We old." And
Yep.
that's the movie.
Yep. It would have been funnier if they did a shot for shot remake of Scream 5 and everybody was like this, the character, like, so Anna Faris would have been Sydney, and Sherry O'Terry could have played Gail. That would have been funnier, but this was not it.
Yep, I didn't miss anything. Uh,
Yep.
so Power Ballad flopped pretty bad this weekend. I'm not sure what Lionsgate was thinking with this release. They also released this online as well, so you can watch it at home for a $25 rental price. So
What?
this caused it to, yeah, you can watch it at home right now, in fact, for $25. And uh, apparently they did this day and date thing, and it caused a lot of theaters to go, fuck you, we're not going to even carry that movie then.
Yeah, as they
And so
should.
it finished with just over $1.5 million over the weekend. So just completely not even in the top 10. Like, just kind of embarrassing, honestly. Is Lionsgate even a studio at this point? If you're doing this with your movies, you finish behind the fifth week of The Sheep Detectives. Congratulations, well done.
That's a better movie.
Power Ballad stars Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. Paul Rudd is a middle-aged former rock star. He had a big band very briefly. They broke up, and he stayed in Ireland after he met a woman there and fell in love and had a child and joined a wedding band. And the he just basically just never kind of gave up the dream and just sort of thinks about writing songs a lot still and still writes a lot. And when Nick Jonas' character, who is a pop star about to make his first solo record, they two get together and they kind of jam and they kind of work on music. And Nick Jonas ends up taking one of the songs that they made and turning it into a major hit. And he doesn't give Paul Rudd any credit for it or any money for it. And that leads to Paul Rudd's character sort of spiraling out and ending up in Los Angeles trying to chase after Nick Jonas to get him to admit that the song was at the very least co-written. I like this a lot. I like this more than I've liked anything else this week, that's for sure. Which low bar, very low bar. But John Carney's a great director. He knows how to do this movie. He knows how to create wonderful moments, and he's got a few really wonderful moments in here. Between Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas, sharing the beauty and joy of creativity. The song they created was really, really good, considering movie songs don't tend to be very good. But John Carney seems to do it better than anybody when it comes to creating original pop songs for a movie, other than say, Sister Mary, which obviously is the well beyond great music. But I enjoyed this movie a great deal because I enjoy Paul Rudd, and I especially enjoy John Carney, who directed Once and Sing Street and Begin Again. He's just got a great ear for stuff and a really wonderful ear for dialogue and characters. And this movie is probably the least of his work overall, but that's a pretty high bar when we're talking about Once and Sing Street. And most people didn't see Begin Again, and I think they're missing out. I think a lot of people were really not happy to see the Maroon 5 guy in a movie, which is fine. But you had Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley, and they're amazing together.
Yeah. I liked this. I didn't love this movie. I didn't love anything this week, really. I liked it. I thought the song was incredible, and the song should get like song of the year, honestly, at the Oscars, because it is really that good, and it's better than a lot of the stuff that you hear now.
It's almost as if they had a really great marketing hook for the movie that they didn't bother to fucking use.
Thank you. God. I've been kind of a passive fan of Nick Jonas, and I fucking hate him now. He is a piece of shit. And I know it's just his character. I get that, but his character is so absolutely vile that he pissed me off. So I don't like you, Nick Jonas.
You don't steal from Paul Rudd, damn it.
Well, and you think that like he's going to do the right thing, and he's going to, but every time he's given the opportunity to do the right thing, he just does the wrong thing. It's like watching my ex. It's just, you do the wrong thing at every turn. I liked it. I thought, okay, it's a little formulaic. It's gonna end a little formulaic, and then it didn't. And then surprise, it did kind of. It's when he gets proof, is he gonna use the proof? Is he gonna I'd burn it all down after that. After the way he was treated by, especially Jack Raynor is he plays such a good piece of shit.
He really does.
He's so good at it. You gotta wonder if he is in real life. Is he a good guy or is he a douchebag?
I wanted, he was such a bastard in this movie. I wanted to see him sewn into a bear suit and set on fire.
Been there, done that.
You want a twist for your movie, guys? I got it for you.
Right? If this was all just like, if this was all like in his head as he's being sewn into that bear suit in Midsommar, and this is just like him, oh my God, how did I get here? You might be asking yourself, how did I get here? And then it shows this and the mummy, and it's like, Yeah, he's just such a douchebag
He's
in it
way
that I
too
was
good at
like,
being a
oh,
prick.
and that's he was the one who's supposed to be the heel, and then Nick Jonas turns into the heel too, and it's like, oh, we've got two heels, and you're not supposed to, you're supposed to have he's supposed to be a good guy and come. And honestly, like
The
I was,
typical arc, yeah.
yeah,
The
part of
typical
me
arc
is
would have
glad they,
him, like go ahead.
yeah, part of me is glad they didn't do it, and then part of me is mad they didn't do it because it's like nobody really wins in the situation. So
Yeah. I was a little bit I thought they should have brought, back Havana Rose Lou. I thought her character should have returned, and that should have like, I was certain that the big dramatic thing was he's gonna oh shit, he told her the song was about her and it really meant something to her, and now she's gonna find
mhm,
out it wasn't about her. And I thought, okay, that'll be interesting. And then they just completely just shove her character off, and they basically break up off screen and we never see
yeah,
her again. And I think that's the one thing about the movie that really didn't sit well with me was just that. Other than that, I think this is a really great movie, but I really thought they could have built something very dramatic with that. Like his true comeuppance isn't so much that he isn't the more it's his moral failing, but it's also like he's got a real punishment on his hands, and that this woman he does care about leaves because he did lie to her, and that's really
yeah,
the bigger lie.
yeah. I just the fact that he just turned into such a douchebag that you, you you're only rooting for Paul Rudd. You're not rooting for him at all to be, a better person or whatever. It's just like, no, fuck you, Nick the Dick. Yeah, I was disappointed that he didn't do the right thing, given the opportunity. Um,
Mhm.
his Paul Rudd's friend, whose name is escaping me right now. It was
Oh yeah,
so
the guy,
funny.
the co-writer of the film,
Yeah,
as well. He co-wrote the screenplay.
so good. He was like the best character. Uh, and you
Yeah, he
the
plays Paul Rudd's guitarist in his band, and the guy who's been his best friend for years. And every time Paul Rudd has been in a band or left a band, this guy's just been right behind him, and he lives with his mom,
yeah.
and he
Well,
can
and the fact
shred
that
like
yeah,
crazy.
the fact that my favorite little moment in the movie is Paul Rudd's like, "Come here, give me a hug." They make up after, he tells him to fuck off and comes over, they make up and he's like, "Come here, give me a hug." No, no, I feel like people are watching us and whatever. And he's like, "Nobody's watching us. Come here, give me a hug." And they hug it out on the front in front of the house and you just see his mom looking down from the upstairs window. That was a part I laughed really out loud at because that was
Yeah,
really funny. Just a little
Carney.
touch
Like I
that I
said,
liked.
Carney's great at this. Those little touches. It really he does do those details incredibly incredibly well. But yeah, I think the main takeaway from this movie is that go watch Begin Again because nobody saw that movie.
Yeah. So
You'll be deeply deeply rewarded, even as you will have to deal with the Maroon 5 guy, which I know a lot of people don't want to do that. You can get by the Maroon 5 guy. You've got so much Mark Ruffalo. It's so much more overpowering than the Maroon 5 guy. I gotta get this guy's name because he deserves the shout out, and I've been trying to fill time just to get his name. Peter McDonald.
okay.
There it is. Co-star and co-writer with John Carney on Power Ballad.
Yeah. I hope that they get something for it because I think the screenplay was really good, and I think that that song, hopefully, that doesn't get lost in the shuffle at the end of the year because it's not a Diane Warren song, so who knows?
Mhm.
Um,
And Paul Rudd can actually sing pretty well. Like
yeah, I was
you give him
surprised.
the right key, the right song, he can really hit it.
Mhm. Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
yeah, I
I
was
thought I thought for sure he's going to be dubbed when the singing.
right. Yeah, I feel like if he had been dubbed, it would have really taken me out of it.
Hmm.
And the fact that he can carry a tune was kind of surprising. So
I guess he probably sang on Broadway because he did a lot of theater
oh yeah.
as a young man. So I'm betting that's where he gets it from.
He did not sing in Halloween 6, that's for sure.
Although that would have improved that movie.
God, can you imagine?
They- where where is
Michael
the
Myers.
release the musical cut of
Right?
that film?
That would have been hilarious.
And you're as a horror guy, what would be your ultimate nightmare musical? Like a horror film getting turned into a musical, you go, fuck you.
Mm,
Like I know it's pretty much any of them, but like if there's one that would be like you'd be just completely offended by.
yeah, that's a good. I mean, they've done Carrie as a musical, but it
But
was
they did
they
that
did
one incredibly well, actually. Like nobody
yeah,
noticed, but they did an incredible job on that.
yeah. I don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Could you imagine that? No, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 would work as a musical.
Yeah,
Part 1 would not.
as like a country and western musical.
Mhm.
I can imagine Dennis Hopper breaking into song a few times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
He was dressed like a cowboy anyway.
Exactly. And it could have been like they could have made a jukebox musical with songs like it could have been like I Walk the Line. Um,
This is our new side business, ladies and gentlemen, coming up with horror musicals.
Rewriting horror movies as musicals.
Leave yours in the comments and subscribe to this show that you're listening to
Yeah.
already that you're probably subscribed to.
But seriously, join our Patreon. Um, yeah, I think that like I really I enjoyed this movie. I didn't love it to the point
Mhm.
where I'm telling everybody about it. Um, I feel like the the music alone in the movie is worth seeing. Um, and I think if I came across this on a streaming channel or whatever, I would probably watch it again.
Mhm.
So
I feel like I want to like it even more than I do, and maybe if I watched it again, I might. But there's a couple parts where it just didn't quite connect, and I thought, why even introduce Havana Rose Lou's character if you're not even going to use her? That was really
right,
the one major disappointment I had. And again, I understand there's the temptation to subvert expectations, and certainly that subverts expectations, but it also like sometimes you have to satisfy the audience in some way.
yeah,
You have to pay off our expectations a little bit somewhere. And introducing that as him, lying to her about the song being about her and then never coming back to that is not subverting expectations. It's just kind of being a dick.
yeah,
Sometimes symmetry is necessary.
exactly.
Finally, our classic.
That's
I,
one way to put it.
everybody keeps telling me now, Jeff, that I need to take the classics away from you, and I keep telling them I can't do that because it means a lot to you to pick the
Who,
classics.
who's telling you that?
All three of our listeners. Um,
Okay.
I told him no. Don't worry. I said Jeff's always going to pick the classics, and you picked Masters of the Universe, 1987.
Well, because it's literally that or Scary Movie, and you weren't going to see Scary Movie, so we had to do this. I personally wish we hadn't because it sucks.
It's really terrible.
I had never seen it before. The best I've heard it was terrible. The best thing about this movie is the Drew Struzan poster. Everything about this movie is terrible, from Courtney Cox to the little Orko stand-in played by Billy Barty. It's just execrable.
The plot here, because essentially what happened here is this is a Canon Films movie, and they started off making this Masters of the Universe movie with a $20 million budget, and then they stole most of that. They basically money laundered the money, and I'm just allegedly,
Canon
although they're
Films?
not
You've
in
got to
business
be
anymore.
kidding me.
I know. Allegedly, they stole about half the budget and just pocketed that and told people that they spent $20 million on it, when the reality was, of course, they didn't, because the whole film is shot in Cleveland.
The
Some device
suburbs.
brings He-Man and his crew through time to Earth of 1987, where they interact with Courtney Cox and her boyfriend, and they have to fight Skeletor and his army on Earth. And they did that simply because it was much cheaper than actually spending the $20 million they were supposed to spend.
Wow. God, that
They cut everything. They cut the costumes. They cut the special effects budget. I mean, all of it just got cut to the point where He-Man, I think they borrowed costumes from from a different Canon film, called it He-Man.
yeah.
It's
I don't
truly pathetic.
yeah, I don't understand how you make a why don't you just cancel the movie at this point? Because it is like Dolph Lundgren could not act his way out of a wet paper bag
Have
with
you heard the
perforations in it.
Have you heard the classic story about him in this movie? So
No.
Sylvester Stallone happened to be visiting somebody near the set and came over to say hello. And he arrived at a point where Dolph Lundgren was in a dialogue scene with Courtney Cox, and he said to the producer, "You gave that guy lines." This is after he's working. He literally discovered Dolph Lundgren in Rocky, and he's the one who's pointing out, "You gave that guy lines." I mean, because even Stallone was smart enough to know that you can give this guy one line: "I will break you." That's it. That's all he says.
Yeah. Just
I will break you, and if he dies, he dies. That's pretty much the only dialogue he has in Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's my favorite. That's my favorite story about Masters of the Universe. Is even Stallone recognized this, what Canon Films was unable to recognize, that Dolph Lundgren, he may be a genius. There's this claim going around that's been going around for years that he's an actual genius. He can't act at all.
No, God, no. Well, and you can tell that he can't act because he has like 4 lines in this movie. He doesn't really do anything. It's all Courtney Cox and Kevin Corrigan, and they're just like running around screaming the whole time. I did love the fact that Meg Foster played Eva Lynn, who I think she looks the part completely. She didn't seem like she was having as much fun as Allison Brie in the new one, but she looked the part. But God, Frank Langella, Skeletor, just like Jared Leto, you could have literally had anybody play this, especially the new one, because Jared Leto not using his voice, he's not in the suit that I'm aware of. So what are they doing?
That's the only way you can keep Jared Leto from ruining a movie is to not have him
Put him
actually
in
in the movie.
Give him the part, but don't put him in it. It's like a tax write-off thing, right?
There, we kept Jared Leto away from his cult for 6 months. We've done our piece.
That's reason enough to see this movie, is because Jared Leto's really not in it. But yeah, Frank Langella doesn't sound like Frank Langella.
No, it's hardly but he's committed. You give him that.
Oh, he is pot committed. He is, man, is he committed.
He should have been committed, perhaps.
Literally, the only thing that he is not doing in this movie is breaking off pieces of a set and eating them. Because he is chewing so much scenery, metaphorically. Man. But he's got to make up for the fact that Dolph Lundgren is like a void of personality.
Yeah, and he shows up obviously in the new one too, where they make a little joke. I guess he says something that's from this movie. I couldn't tell you what any line Dolph Lundgren said from this movie. So if that was a reference to this movie, I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
It seemed that they seem to put a lot of emphasis on what he said to Adam at the gym, as if that were like a part of Masters of the Universe lore. And I literally watched this entire movie a couple of times, and I can't make out a single word Dolph Lundgren says.
I got to the fourth commercial break on Tubi and was just like, I have to watch the end of this. I suppose I do. I'm glad I watched it just for the simple, I'll be back. No, you won't. They really thought they ate with that, but they ate shit.
It's terrible. It's really just it's god awful. I don't know what else to say about it.
Does make
I
the
think
new one look like Shakespeare though.
the even the costume that Billy Barty was wearing, I think that's from something else as well. Like I think he wore that in a different movie.
I mean,
because that's just how I mean, just the naked robbery that they did.
Was it the troll from Troll 2?
It very well could be. Because there's no way they spent $22 million on this in 1987. No. There's just absolutely no way. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that $22 million was on the screen. 10 is pushing it, if that. They use this movie to just steal money to make other movies, which is one of the weirdest grifts I've ever heard of, but it was their grift. That's what they did. They did it to Superman as well when they were making Superman movies. They were like, oh yeah, $25 million budget for Superman. Yes, it may look like it's $4 million, but trust us, it's $25 million.
So the Gwildor mask was not used for anything else. It was custom made to Billy Barty's face. It looks exactly like Troll.
Yeah, I'm not buying that at all because I know that they basically just augmented an existing mask for that because they didn't make any original things for this. I mean, Teela's costume is basically just scraps from other costumes from the past. Like that's just very obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no way. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, everybody. I mean, we have a good classic next week. I think. Although I'm sure it'll piss some of you people off. Both of you that listen to the show.
It's hard to screw up a Spielberg-related classic. Because Disclosure Day is coming out this weekend with an all-star cast and, of course, directed by Steven Spielberg. Have you seen there's a popcorn bucket, and I've not seen it. Have you seen one?
No,
Apparently, it's pretty cool.
Nice. I was seconds away from buying The Mandalorian and Grogu at on Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't afford $80.
Yeah, it's still up there too high. The one I'm looking there's I get just a brief bit of popcorn bucket news before we preview next week's show. The popcorn bucket for the Odyssey has dropped, and it's an IMAX camera.
Okay, that would be cool for somebody who collects them like you.
It's an IMAX camera. It looks like it's a plastic version, shrunk down version of an IMAX camera. And if you look through the little viewfinder, there's a picture from the movie The Odyssey.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was a real, because like I'm sure everyone was expecting a ship, which I'm sure at some location somewhere. I don't even know if this is a Cinemark one or if it's it could be any one of the movie theaters have all their very own popcorn bucket. So I'm not sure which bucket this will be, but I'm sure one of them will give us a ship. But I was really excited to see. I'm hoping that the IMAX camera is the one we get here locally because that was really cool looking.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Maybe, but
Disclosure Day Disclosure Day is a stag, by the way. It's a deer.
Huh.
Big antlers, a bird on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because apparently that's got a big role to play in the story.
Yeah, well, you see in the trailer a lot. You see it walking up, and the bird lands on it and flies away. Yeah.
So Disclosure Day is opening this weekend, as is what
Stop
else is there?
that train.
What else is there? Let's
Stop
see.
that train.
The Furious is opening this weekend.
Stop
Which
that
I've really been looking
train.
forward to. The Furious. It's an incredibly violent movie, apparently, incredibly violent action film. It's going to be. I've heard very good things about it. I'm sorry, you were saying something, Jeff?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, Stop That Train is opening this weekend.
To commemorate Stop That Train, which is a RuPaul thing, you have to watch all 16 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race as the classic. Just
Actually, our Patreon exclusive is just 16 hours of Jeff doing commentary for every episode of RuPaul's Drag.
yes. Yep. 100%.
If we get to 100 subscribers to our Patreon, Jeff will do 16 straight hours of commentary on just RuPaul's Drag Race by himself.
By myself. Yep. Sure will. You got me. I will totally do that.
Count on that Patreon tier right now.
Mm-hmm.
Get to work. Spend some money on our Patreon.
I will, however, say if we get up to like 20 subscribers, then you can pick a movie for us to do the commentary for.
Yeah, there you go. That's a reasonable goal.
You can even come over to my house if you're local and sit in and do it with us. I don't care.
It's your money.
Oh, Lordy.
We'll serve you drinks. But fisting is out of the question. Just right away.
Yes. Yes. I'm not fisting anybody.
I only do that with a willing partner.
I've been asked to do that. I'm like, no, thank you. You're not a Muppet. Stop it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Stop That Train and The Furious. Not a Fast and Furious movie that I'm aware of, unless there's some sort of
it's not.
mid-credit scene. God, could you imagine if Dominic Toretto came out right in the middle of the credits and was like, "I told you it was about family."
Oh God. That's actually the secret ending to Disclosure Day.
Oh.
Oops, I spoiled it. Sorry, Spielberg.
It's actually just She-Ra in the middle of it going, surprise again.
Can I be in this sequel? No.
You have burned the bridges, Mitch.
Close Encounters is our classic next week, which is awesome because it was just in theaters just this past weekend, actually. So that's very cool.
Yep. Yeah,
love that movie.
Yeah, I do too. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
I've
Sean's
got
also probably gonna watch ET.
I've got the coolest, like the most expensive and awesome Blu-ray version of that. So I'm very happy. Oh yeah, the very high end Blu-ray. It came out a while ago, but I've had it for a long time.
I have the one that says it was like $10 and it says disc 1. So you open it up and you're like, where's disc 2? There was never a disc 2. That's the one I have. I got
Well,
it at Best Buy when I worked there.
You're not supposed to buy them from Mexico, Jeff.
I bought it in Jersey City, same difference.
Where do you think Jersey City gets them, Jeff?
Well, if you know anything about Jersey City, it's either Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic, because all the hot guys are from Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic in Jersey City. So,
wow, they import everything.
oh my God.
Our hot guy selection is getting low. Go back down there with a raft and bring him back.
It's funny. So, like the weekend that I moved out there, when I moved to Jersey City from Harlem, I was in Harlem for a week. I lived in New York for 1 week before I moved to Jersey City because my apartment got broken into 3 times before I even had my stuff in it. Yeah, I walked into A&P by my new apartment and I was like, God, even the ugly guys are hot. That's Jersey City for you. So
very cool.
Happy Pride.
If you want a fun movie piracy story, you can check out Movies of the 80s. We've got a story there about the greatest piracy story in history, where a guy down in Panama bought a couple of duplication machines and would basically just take prints right off the truck and make movies. He had Return of the Jedi 2 years before it had ever actually made it to VHS. This guy was selling it around the world, made millions of dollars, and eventually took a Hollywood executive hostage.
Oh, I remember you telling that story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story, and you can read that at Movies of the 80s. We've got a bunch of great stuff up there. Today's feature was all about Lily Tomlin and how her genuine integrity made All of Me a comedy classic that people don't realize is a comedy classic.
Mm-hmm. Lily Tomlin is one of America's best comedians ever.
And just one of the best people. Just one of the genuinely best people. Like there's these 2 stories about her that went around for years where she just ended Russell, the director Russell, his name escapes me now, ended his career. He's berating her and gets caught on tape berating her on the set of I Heart Huckabees, and she just sat there. She just sat, and she just sat there, and he just let him yell and yell and yell, and she goes, "Are you done?" It's like, and after that, his career is not recovered from that. She just completely devastated him. And there's this other story where this old comedian was following her on a talk show, and he starts talking about how he lives on a farm now and that his favorite piece of livestock is his wife. And Lily Tomlin just got up and left. Didn't confront him, didn't start anything. She just fucking left.
It was on the Mike Douglas show. I've seen that clip.
Yeah, it goes around every now and again. And it's just fucking, it's just a symbol of her just integrity. And that's what she brought into All of Me, which she was going to turn it down, and she decided to do it because Carl Reiner said, "Hey, well, what can we do to improve it?" And she goes, "Well, let's work on it." So they spent 6 weeks improving the script to make the female characters more realistic, and then she did the movie, and it's a comedy classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and she didn't call out the writer. She didn't call it. Yeah, she didn't. She said the script was a little bit sexist, but it's mostly just the guy just had a male perspective, because that's really all he has is a male perspective, and he didn't seek any female perspectives, and he kind of made these cardboard female characters. But she saw the potential in it, and that's what she wanted to fix, and she did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Google Lily Tomlin, Chad Everett, Mike Douglas, and you can watch that clip. And they think she's joking. They think she's doing a bit, but no, You guys are just assholes.
Yeah, she's great. She's amazing. So that's at Movies of the 80s. Jeff, you want to promote anything?
Well, like I said, QC FrightCon / Planet FunkCon, the last weekend of June in Davenport, Iowa. Come see us. Hit my website, jefflasser.com. I've got some new stuff that's coming up. I added some new T-shirts to my TeePublic um, that seem to actually have taken off a little bit because I think I'm up to $4 for the month of June, which is a lot better than May when I made $1.25 because TeePublic sucks. But yeah, I've got some new stuff coming up. I'm working on a couple new pieces for QC FrightCon, kind of redoing an older piece in light of a new person that's going to be there. So yeah, come and see.
Yeah, just as long as it's not cursed Jar Jar, please no more. Please.
That is one of my absolute best sellers. I am always out of the stickers. I just had to order new ones. So
See, most of my nightmares are just anytime I see Stephen Miller's face, but then the other ones, every other nightmare is just sexy Jar Jar.
sexy Jar Jar is a thing. It's funny because I was like,
it is not a thing.
I was just thinking, I was like, oh, I got to order more. And then Abernathy's in Davenport ordered some and they took the last of mine. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I definitely got to order them. So, yeah. So, yeah, come and get your sexy Jar Jar stuff from me. I've also got Palpatine, which is my Emperor Palpatine on his throne with his fishnets and high heels. So,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, Jeff. Thanks.
Have a good one, everybody.